Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm at Botallack in Cornwall and I'm going to explore the old mines for sunset. And there's something really intriguing about going out and photographing these historic places that I truly feel something when I'm photographing it. And I wonder if that's normal for us photographers. Do you find that too? Do you find that when you're out in the landscape, you feel something special from these moments, wondering who walked here before? And yeah, it's a beautiful evening. The light's absolutely stunning. And I'm hoping I can collect some photographs and do this place justice. I've been here many times before and shot lots of photographs. In fact, I spent a month here last year and had terrible conditions, but that made for some really atmospheric photographs, so I'll make sure I share those with you today. But yeah, I feel like I really want to try and show off this place in the best way, how it makes me feel, how I can connect with the past here, and such interesting history from the miners and all the old ruins that are here. So yeah, let's go on a journey for sunset and see what we can capture. Let's go. In terms of the gear that I'm using tonight, I've got the Fujifilm X-T5 and I've actually got a combination of two TTArtisan lenses. So I have the 27mm, which I use quite regularly, and I really enjoy the field of view from that. And I've also been given this lens by TTArtisan just to have a good go with. This is the 56mm. This is no way sponsored by them at all, so this will be my honest review throughout my videos. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the kind of perspective that this lens brings. So I'm finding at the moment it's quite nice mixing up between two prime lenses and having to move into position, but also mixing up between how I photograph this amazing place and whether I want some context of the space or whether I want to fill the frame with the structure or the ruins. So it's a really interesting experience actually, just switching up between the two lenses and see what looks best at the time. So the 27mm is a more compact lens. It's a really nice small pancake lens, really light, really easy to carry around. It's just wide enough to tell the story of the landscape, but it's still intimate. It's great for placing these ruins in their kind of context. You feel the isolation of the landscape surrounding them. And also then there's the 56mm. So that's more like a storyteller's lens. I feel I use it to compress a space, isolate moments, get a little bit closer on those collapsed arches or the rust, details along the way, or that single chimney with the side light. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing lots of images from both lenses so we get a real feel for how those work and how you can tell the story with different focal lengths. So I guess the question I ask is, does the image need the whole story or just a sentence from the story? Do we need to include the whole landscape, or are we going to go in close? So I'm hoping as sunset unfolds, this is something we'll discover. Hey guys, so it's actually the next day. That was where the footage ended on the GoPro because somebody forgot to change the battery or charge the battery before they headed out. Absolute amateur. And if I'd realised that, I probably would have shot less footage of me walking to the mines than the actual mines themselves, because sunset was incredible and my battery ran out just as I was headed down to the main part, so the best spot. Just didn't get any content. Obviously carried on taking photographs, and it was an absolutely incredible evening. It was my first night back on the Cornish coast in months. I think it was October last time I was here. And even just walking along last night, it just reminded me how beautiful it is here. Absolutely stunning. So you might be able to see around me now, the place is just covered in sea pinks, bluebells, fresh green ferns. The sunset down at the mines was absolutely stunning. But yeah, idiot, forgot to charge the batteries. So I thought I'd bring you out again tonight to catch a glimmer of another great sunset. And talk about the subject that I was trying to share with you along the way that I didn't actually quite get to talk about properly. And that's about lens choice and why lens choice matters. So when we think about storytelling in photography, we always think about the subject, the light. The lens is just important in all of this. It controls the way you see the frame, how close you feel to your subject, and even conveys what kind of emotion you want to share in the photo as well. I feel like lens choice is much more than a technical decision, it's a creative one as well. It shapes not just what you see, but how you see it. So I feel like a wide angle lens shares so much of the environment in the frame and places your subject within a context of that landscape. You know, like these mines, the emptiness of the abandoned structures, for example. A longer focal length, like a portrait lens or a short telephoto, pulls everything in that little bit closer, and compresses the space and really simplifies the scene, taking out any of the surrounding distraction. And I feel like with a wider lens, you're really taken into the entire scene. With a tighter lens, you slow down, observe the smaller moments within it. So depending on how you approach it, can really tell a story in a slightly different way. So back to the actual lenses I was using during the shoot. It's the 27mm TTArtisan lens and the 56mm TTArtisan lens as well. So I was juggling between the two. So firstly, the 27mm. This is 27mm on a crop sensor camera, so that's about 40mm full frame equivalent. It's pretty close to the human eye perspective. It's slightly wider, perfect for those kind of like documentary street moments, and getting a bit more of the context of your scene into the shot. It's a 2.8 aperture. I don't always have to go that low and go any faster than that, so it's a really, really lovely little lens. So here's some of my favourite moments that I shot last night on the 27mm. And then the 56mm. So this is probably about 85mm on a full frame equivalent. It's a classic portrait kind of lens, really. It's great for subject isolation and that dreamy background blur. Ideal for more emotional, intimate storytelling, really, I think. Portraits, close-ups. The aperture is 1.8, so that gives you a beautiful depth of field and the ability to shoot in low light as well, making it a really quick lens. So together I feel like both these lenses provide quite a versatile range for me, kind of using the 27mm to set the scene and the wider context of the surroundings, and the 56mm can dive in closer, focus more tightly on the subject story. So my thought on both these lenses, I think they're great budget lenses. The build quality is lovely, sharp autofocus. It's just a lovely experience using them, to be honest with you. You don't need high-end gear to get great photographs and tell a good story. You just need the right lens, a good eye and a connection to the subject. And actually my battery running out, taking those photographs and getting to go back and look at them today, it gave me time to really think about what I was capturing at sunset and which kind of perspective I enjoyed the most. And they're both great. They've both created such beautiful images, but for me, this place and the context of the scene, I felt it was a 27mm for me. I think being able to see these historic mines in context of the beautifully rugged landscape, that was the winner for me. So I hope you enjoyed that deep dive into my lens choices and why and what I enjoyed the most out of them, and how your lens choice is so important to telling a story. So come on with me now. We've got about 20 minutes to sunset, I think, so I'm going to go and see what I can capture this evening and enjoy the rest of this good light. Absolutely stunning. So that's where I was last night, down on that little outcrop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this double sunset adventure, and I really look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks guys.